everyone. Welcome to day 23 of the book The Absolute Law of Karma, written by our Param Pujya Gurudev Pandit 𝗢𝐻𝐿. We were discussing the topic of the relativity of virtues and sins. Till now we have discussed about how every being or every Jivatma has the three attributes of Sat, Raj and Tam in different degrees inside them, and these are relative to each other because this is not absolute, because a thief might have more sattvic attributes than a dacoit, but he has more tamasic attributes if compared to a social worker. Let's move on and see what Gurudev has to tell us more about this. We should make an endeavor to enjoy, imbibe, and encourage only the virtuous traits in a person. It does not mean that we close our eyes to the blemishes. Be aware of the vices, but do not get involved in them. There is that well-known story of Rishi 𝗢𝗂. As long as he continued to compare the bright and dark aspects of life, he remained troubled and unhappy. When he concentrated only on the positive aspects of creation, he found that in his world, all living creatures were sacred and adorable. So here Gurudev is trying to tell us that how only concentrating on the good, focusing on the virtues, focusing on the merits, trying to hone your strengths, be busy, keep yourself busy so much in just concentrating and developing your strengths that you do not get time to grieve about your weaknesses. So here he's giving an example of Rishi 𝗢𝗂 that he, as long as he remained occupied with, the dark aspects of life, or complaining or criticizing or comparing, for instance, he remained troubled and unhappy. But once he concentrated only on the positive aspects of creation, then he could have inner sacredness of that Sat Chitananda, of the blissful happiness, and revel in this creation of God. So just like a fly finds it equally interesting to either lie on a pile of rubbish or lie on a pile of sweets. So we want to be that fly that always finds a pile of sweets and not the one that finds a pile of rubbish. He realized that he could learn something from each of them. It is said that he acquired his spiritual insights from 24 beings, or the teachers. Among these were insignificant creatures like dog, cat, jackal, spider, fly, vulture, crow, etc. He felt that no animate being was despicable, that each one had within it the soul, which is a spark of that super being, and that each was a link in the spiraling chain of evolution. When we make ourselves receptive to virtues, the field of vision changes. Shortcomings are overlapped by excellence, wickedness by goodness, and prevalence of unhappiness by abundance of things which are joyful. The world that we earlier thought to be full of wicked people now appears rich with decent, well-mannered, altruistic, and aspiring persons. So here, just like Gurudev used to say, "Jaisi drishti, vaisi shrishti," it means that no matter what is happening outside, but what our inner vision or our inner focus is what we will see in the outside world. So if we start focusing on everything that's good and virtuous and start receiving those lessons from the outside world, being more acceptable, being more receptive, then we start also seeing the good and virtuous things that are in front of us. And thereby we start to realize the importance of all beings around us that are in this chain of evolution. Because there is something or the other to learn from every single Jivatma, from every animate object. So what we can learn something from a flower, we can learn something from a tree, we can learn something from the river. For instance, a flower is always happy and beautiful, no matter we choose to pluck it or no matter we choose to not pluck it, but it remains the happy, beautiful self that it is. And from the river, we can always learn that no matter what comes in its way, it keeps flowing. So we must also learn to always keep moving ahead in life, no matter what challenges we face. And just like Rishi Dattraya made every animate being in the nature his teacher, similarly, we can also make everyone around us as a teacher, because there is at least one good quality about everyone that is around us. And hence, focusing on the good, the merits, the virtues is just going to make us a better person inside. Each individual has his own personal perspective of people, places, things, and events. On account of the confusion of perspective, one finds the world bad, whereas the other sees only goodness in it. Throw away the cobwebs of your old biased perspectives. Use your third eye of wisdom to see through the illusions of your old world. Let your present wicked world, that's the 𝐘𝐨𝐻𝐸𝐴, destroy itself, and its place create your own golden age, Satyug, inside your inner psyche. Stop being deluded by the darkness of the world and focus your vision on the brightness. You will find the world changing into heaven. When you change your field of vision, you will find your disobedient son or daughter changing into an obedient one. Your worst enemies, quarrelsome wife, and hypocritical neighbors will appear totally different. Actually, the factor of negativity in the character or behavior of a person is usually very small. So again, Gurudev is trying to tell us that how if we change our perspective, how if we change our focus, how if we change our vision to focus on the good, which is the Satogun, and how doing this can immediately shift our inner psyche, our own energy, our own vibration to a much higher level, because the kind of energy we give out to others is the same kind of energy we receive. So if you're constantly nagging your child, do this, do that, get up, study hard, don't go out, don't do this, don't do that, it's the same kind of blocked energy that you will be getting back from the child, and that's just going to increase the negative spiral of this energy exchange. But if you're only telling your child things like, that's fine, okay, no problem that you were not able to do that, better luck next time, you are so worthy, you are so important, you are capable, you are good enough, you are important in yourself, you are unique, and you are here to make a difference. If you fill the child with positive energy, that's the energy that you're going to receive as well. And also that's the energy that the child will further release in the universe with other people. So it is extremely, extremely important to make sure that what kind of energy or sattvic element we are imbibing and inculcating in our inner psyche, so as to not block our vision and form the false delusion of a dark world inside us. As you might have always heard that most of our problems are rather in our head than existing outside, more especially the mental ones, because happiness is a choice. It is not something that you become by by the medium of something else external. It's not like your husband can make you happy, or not like your family can make you happy, or not like a new shopping trip can make you happy. But happiness is always a choice that you make, and therefore focusing on the good of others, filling their cups with positivity is also a choice that we make. Antagonism in the mind of the observer magnifies it manifold. Suppose your husband or wife does not behave as per your expectations, because of preoccupation or some other valid reason, when you are not aware of it, you are likely to take it as an affront and become resentful or angry. With the anger, the evil traits lying dormant in the inner recesses of your mind become activated and produce negative mental image of the subject. Darkness makes out a monster out of a bush. Similarly, anger due to distortion caused by inner turbulence produces a defiant, disobedient, disrespectful picture of an otherwise simple, innocent person who receives harsh punishment for a small lapse. So here Gurudev is trying to tell us that if we are antagonistic in our own minds, that if we have severe repulsion or opposition or extreme hate or turbulence or in our minds, it can magnify the situation in the physical realm. So for instance, if there is something which is not happening according to our expectations, we are likely to get more disturbed mentally first and react in an unjust manner physically. And this might result in strained relationships or creating more bad karma or creating prarabdha karmas, because prarabdha karmas are the ones which involve heavy emotional involvement. On the other hand, this unjust reaction also infuriates the recipient of the undeserved treatment. The counter-reacting angry person too begins to see wickedness, foolishness, cruelty, and many other negative traits in the other person. On repetition of such trivial incidents, the two imaginary ghost personalities continue to grow and their confrontations convert to simple-hearted, warmly related people into bitter antagonists. So, just exactly what we discussed before in this video, that whatever we give out, the counter-reacting other person receiving it also gives out the same energy. And this can make two people who were otherwise warm with each other or did not have so much antagonism between them into negatively repulsive personalities. And this is usually the result of individual mental turbulence than anything really big in the outside world. So thank you for listening in today. We take a pause here. Pranam everyone.
हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल आइकन पर क्लिक कीजिए ताकि आने वाली सभी वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलती रहे। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।